What I wanted to hit on about procrastination more than anything else is you should very carefully check yourself and pay attention and see if you are actually deceiving yourself and pretending that you're doing something. Like we all kind of know what matters and what doesn't matter. We all kind of know that we need to get better. And the easiest way to check yourself for us fitness professionals out there is, what are the things that our clients do that we get really frustrated by because we know that they're actually not going to get them to their goals?
This is the online trainer show, trainer show, trainer show. This is the online trainer show. We shouldn't have a podcast. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and you're always glad you came. You want to be where people can see that the troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. I know, I'm like, literally, I know every, I've got them cataloged for some reason. I don't need this information.
What's the dude's name? Remember, Charles in Charge? He's gone all like alt-right Trump supporter. Like,
I want Charles in charge of me. I want Charles in charge of me. Scott Baio. That's an easy one.
Scott Baio, that's the one. Yeah.
Catchy theme song. Easy for me to catalog. We need to have a whole podcast of people tossing out television show theme songs, and then I will sing them. Yeah. Jonathan's gone blurry again. You know, it's going to be a good episode. The best episodes start out when Jonathan starts out blurry. Those are always the best episodes. I'm keeping a spreadsheet of it. Whenever his camera blurs out, the information flows like Coors in Colorado. It's fantastic. It's amazing. And I like how the outline of the beard is still defined when he's blurry. Like I can really pick you out.
He looks like in one of those shows where they have to blur out like the witness in the case, and they right. They're like, well, I can't say that I knew him all that well, but we had a deal.
Right. It's a trolley expose. You know, I'm just here on the record to say that there's actual bears in the gummy bears, and if this gets out, I'll never work in the candy industry again. And he's having his post-workout snack. Jonathan, you have a great workout. Dude, you were jacked in that picture, man.
Like, I'm trying to chew this leftover chicken, and it's like cement in my mouth. I successfully... sorry, I can't even... It's like, you know when you chew something and you chew it and chew and chew it, and it doesn't actually break down, it just turns into a paste?
It's awful. I hate that.
Yesterday, I successfully didn't take leftovers because my wife didn't see me take my lunch. So I didn't take leftovers and went and got delicious Mexican food. Yay. Today, she noticed and put the leftovers in my bag, and it's like this old flavorless chicken.
Aww.
I've been struggling through. I've been chewing the same piece of chicken for the last 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I have 2 things of water.
I'm just trying to dissolve it down.
Water soluble lunch.
On the bright side, I found a really good Mexican place right beside my office.
Perfect. That's a win.
Let's not lose sight of what's important, Jonathan.
It was like really legit Mexican, because I'm not going to tell Carolina what legit Mexican. Carolina, I'm gonna explain something to you.
That's right. Yeah. Tell her about what's legitimate Mexican food, Jonathan.
I'm gonna gringo mansplain something to you about Mexican food. Is there a gringo splain thing to Mexicans?
Yeah, over well.
No, it was good. So they make tortillas there. They carry all like the actual Mexican spices. Like, it's not like a Canadian North American Mexican place where there's no Mexicans that have ever worked there or ever touched the food. Right. It seems like there are actual, maybe Guatemalans, I don't know, but it seems like there are actual Mexicans there.
Like legitimate people from the country.
Like, who really, it was good. The flavors were good. Yeah.
Awesome.
There you go. So if you ever decide to leave Barry.
Keto's already written her own invitation.
Are you in the new house yet?
No, this is still the same house, but I had to move to my couch because my desk where I always work from I sold it. Like everything is gone. Like everything is packed up around me. Like we're moving tonight. It's tonight.
Really?
Next episode, I will be coming to you from the new house. So yes.
Get ready tonight. Gonna make this a night to remember.
See, and all that I'm thinking about is the next episode by Dr. Dre.
Oh yeah, that is, yeah. Da-da-da-da-da. I can't. We won't articulate that one.
How good is that beat though?
It is so good. It's so good.
Every single person listening to this, even you in Lithuania,
right, Romania,
knows what we're talking about. Yeah,
knows the next words to the song. All you have to say is da 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 da.
That's all. That's all that's necessary.
Yeah,
it's a classic. It's an American. It's American classic music, John. You know, it's amazing. Speaking of American, you guys, I saw the funniest thing the other day. Bob Barker from the Price is Right was oil wrestling Uncle Jed from Beverly Hillbillies. Then I found out later it was actually a U.S. presidential debate. Shocker! Like who knew that's what that was? I was like, why are these two guys oil wrestling? And then later on, I see on the internet it was actually for the presidency of this country, and all I could think the whole time was like, I really hope that Carol and Jonathan are asleep because Amber and I have to live with this, and it's maybe we'll never live it down.
Well, we got a notice that after they decided to change the format of the next presidential debate. Did you guys hear about this?
I heard that they were going to change some things. The debate, apparently there's legit a debate format committee or something.
And so the committee has decided already what they're going to do. It turns out that the next debate is going to be in an underground boxing match. And there's going to be no microphones.
Fight Club.
And they're just going to let the two and last man standing gets the presidency.
Dude, I don't know if either one of these men can make it another 4 years. Let me be honest. We need an OTP. We need an online training presidents certification. That's what we need. We can get it. We can train them up, man. Get some reps in, some squats, some deads, get some dead, a little hip hinge. Help either one of these guys make it all the way through the next 4 years. I would be shocked. I would be shocked, quite frankly. It was a health coach's nightmare to even witness it.
As a Canadian, I just want to thank you for providing us such great entertainment.
It was, yeah.
And I look forward to more. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I check the political highlights the same as I check the sports highlights because they're just as entertaining now.
It's awesome. Oh man, these three people were withering right in front of my eyes, man. It was
such good entertainment.
It was like watching vegetation under a heat lamp. Like it was really, really hard to watch. I thought any second.
What I don't understand though, like I was telling Allison yesterday about some of the comments that we get on our Facebook ads, and she's like, "Oh, how do you like stand that? If it was me that they were like commenting on, I would have a really hard time
being sick."
And and people say negative stuff, and I just said, well, if somebody says something really, really rude to me and there's not a bit of truth in it, it really doesn't affect me very much.
Right.
If somebody says something that's rude, but they seem intelligent and level-headed and thoughtful, then there might be an area where I can improve, and I'm 100% going to listen and pay attention and decide thoughtfully whether there's an area that I can improve. But if somebody comments on a post and says, "Take off your mask, you F and F,"
oh my gosh.
Probably not the amount of. So we have one advertisement that we've been running for a little while because it's converting well, and it's I've got a mask on, I've got one of those blue masks on, and I have a whole bunch of the online trainer Wealthy Fit Pros Guide to Online Trainer books that I'm like fanning out, and I'm just like looking at you, right? And the only reason I'm wearing the mask is because it gets your attention. Like I'm in my office, like it's like we shot the photo, like we planned and we shot the photo because it got like literally the purpose of the photo was to get your attention and stop you scrolling, which clearly it worked if you commented. So you've fallen into my trap, sucker. But the amount of just pure vitriol that I've gotten for that, it's like you really, out of all of the things going on in the world today that you could possibly hate on, you decided to call me an F and F, and the amount of like that's like the nice person. The amount of things that people have said at that, not about me, not about our business, not about the books, about the fact that I'm wearing a mask. That's literally it. The amount of things that have been said, it's like, that's what you decide to put your flag down. Like that's, I on a random advertisement. It's just one of those things that's like not even advertising masks or making any kind of a political statement, right? It's unbelievable to me that there's that much division and that people are so emotionally charged that they're gonna comment hate on an advertisement of like the nicest Jewish boy from Canada.
Such a nice Jewish boy.
Telling you that he wants to give you this book for free that he wrote, that he thinks is going to help your career.
Such a mensch.
And you're like, oh no, you are horrible. I'm not even, I can't. How did this happen?
I don't know. Have you ever visited nutrition forums? What happens when you explain the benefits of carbs to like the keto hardcore peeps? Like, hello, there's a lot of crazies out there. Like, there's dogmas for everything, right?
My favorite is Allison bought me these bars from Costco just to like try a new protein bar, and they're literally called keto bars, and it promotes that they have no sugar, but then it says only 3 grams of carbs. And
oh my god, like what?
I don't know. Isn't the whole idea of keto that you don't have any carbs? Isn't that literally what by definition, if you eat this, you are not going to be in ketogenesis?
Yeah. That's usually how ketogenesis works, is the absence of carbs. I don't think it's under 5.
Is ketogenesis the same as ketosis?
And that's what I meant, ketosis.
Okay, because I'm very confused.
Ketosis. We're going to generate gluconeogenesis.
I hear Genesis and I think of Phil Collins back in the day. Anyway, sorry.
I thought I was thinking about Sega Genesis. But
here's something funny. It says only on the front, it says only 3 grams of net carbs. So that's a funny way to say it, right? It's not 3 grams of carbs because actually it has 14 grams of carbs.
The rest is fiber. The fiber cancels out the carbs.
What absolutely just evil, like what an example of just evil marketing trying to take advantage of nutrition facts.
Maybe keto is the name of the person that came up with it.
Well, it's not like an unhealthy bar. Like it's good.
No,
whatever.
It's a fine bar, Jonathan. It's a fine bar for a good Jewish boy. Every good Jewish boy should have a fine keto bar in his pocket, and you do. So I don't know why people are hating on you. Keto, you okay? We got a topic today. We're talking about procrastination, right?
Oh, this is perfect. Let's procrastinate some more. I'm fine. I just finished eating leftovers. Speaking of leftovers, I had leftover chicken wings, and they are like, I choose the sauce that makes you regret going for that kind of heat. So I feel like my hands are a little bit burning, like my lips are tingly. Like that's the kind of, I don't know why I do this to myself, but I freaking love it. So that's where I'm at right now. So that's why I'm a little bit quiet.
I don't like it at all. I cannot do super spicy stuff. Also, my stomach is 46 years old. So there's that.
So there's that.
there's that to consider. And that's just not a good, it's not a good outcome. So segging way. Can you say segging way? Segging way, or is it just segue? I'm going to say it. So segging way.
I looked up some Lithuanian names. So Matisse from Lithuania. It's perfectly okay with us saying segging way.
Segging way. we got to talk about procrastination. I love this topic, and when the topic was brought up, maybe 3 minutes before this podcast started, I had to reply that I was excited about this topic because I see this all the time in the OTA, right? As coaches who coach other coaches, which pretty much all of us do, to some capacity. We see this problem a lot in the circles, in the annals of coaching. Yes. The coaching environment. We see this a lot, man. People procrastinating. We talked about imperfect action on our first podcast. This is a good circle back to that sort of. And Jonathan probably has things he wants to say. So, Jonathan, take us away here. Like, launch this love boat of conversation that we're about to have.
I will launch this love boat of conversation for Iona from Romania.
Yeah, do it for them.
I also looked up some common Romanian names.
Oh, did you? Okay. Shout out to you, Iona, in Romania.
Iona, probably from.
We love
Romania.
your knitting. I don't know. Do they knit in Lloyd? I don't know what they do.
They knit everywhere. Is knitting Romanian thing? I don't know.
I'm a southerner in the United States. I don't know what goes on outside of North and South Carolina, and I prefer it that way. So does Amber. Okay. So take us there, Jonathan. Let's go.
Well, I want to get a whole bunch of examples from Amber of where people procrastinate. I think that would be nice. Good too. And I'm gonna ask you for that in a moment, because I know how much you love talking on this podcast, Amber.
She's so excited.
Procrastination is one of those things. It's really easy for people, myself included, to deceive ourselves into thinking that we're making forward progress because we're moving, right? Even though we're not actually moving in the right direction. What happens? Here's the thing about procrastination. Okay. Anything worth having is going to take you longer and be more difficult to attain than you ever could imagine. Right. It's just, that is why it's worth having. It's part of why we enjoy things is because they're difficult to attain. We literally enjoy them because they were hard to attain. And when it comes to business, it's like if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? And so it's always going to be a lot of small, important actions moving in the right direction.
And suddenly there was a knock at the door. Jonathan,
tell you what, Amber, why don't you give some examples of procrastination until the person
just narrating
hammering above me. Give some examples of procrastination, and hopefully then they'll be done.
Just take over the entire show.
Going on in my monologue. Yeah.
You planned for this today. Let's go. Hurry up, Amber.
So the most common forms of procrastination that we see coaches doing is, I have to build my website, or I need to build my logo, or have a super complicated business name. And all of these, I need to have a business page, and all of these things that feel like you're going in the right direction when you're not doing like the unsexy work, which is like, providing value and talking to people. So we feel like those are kind of invisible labor type stuff. Whereas when we do a website or build a business page or whatever, create an ad, it feels tangible. So it feels good to do, but it doesn't actually help in the immediate sense to, help get clients or build your business. So we focus on something like that instead of doing the things that actually help.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, kiddo, we both had the same benefit that kept us from procrastinating, in that we were both poor when we started.
Poverty is a great motivator to get things done.
You also, it wasn't just that you were poor. It's that when you guys started, there weren't the same kinds of groups and observances of what other people is doing than there is now. It's so easy now to, like, anytime you have a question, knee-jerk, ask it in a community of people that you have no idea whether there's any relevant expertise in that community.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's going to spit out what they do. Like, if you ask people's opinions, they're going to give it. It doesn't mean that their opinions are worth anything.
Yeah, but you can still find, like, You can find so many ways to procrastinate, because back in those days, for me, it was blogs. Like, maybe we didn't have communities to ask questions, but I could go down a Google spiral of like trying to find the perfect information. And we know that's a lie that we tell ourselves, that once I figure out the perfect answer, I will be able to move forward in the perfect way.
Here's
right?
the thing
and
about that too. You didn't know this at that time, and I mean, I didn't either when I started, but the sunk costs that went into producing a website and a blog back when you were looking at it was much higher, which immediately self-selects out people who don't really know what they're talking about and are kind of pretenders. Doesn't mean that there isn't bad information, but there certainly was a lot less unsubstantiated information, simply because the cost to produce that information was much higher. Like when I built my website, I had to spend a few $1,000s to build the website. I had to figure out how to work the website and do some of the coding and stuff like that. Like there wasn't like click, 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 click. Okay, free template. Now I can start writing words on the internet.
Right.
Okay, on my phone. Now I'm going to enter in a community that already exists and like fire this. Like there's no cost of doing business today, which means that you have to be way more careful in the information that you attain. Back then, I mean, I'm assuming you didn't know what I certainly didn't either. You didn't really have to be as careful, simply because it was more expensive to be in the game of somebody producing information.
Right.
Which immediately forced the information to be, as a whole, more trustworthy.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Keto, when you were looking, did you ever run across championlifestyle.blogspot.com? Did that ever pop up in your search?
Oh,
I heard there was one great post on that blog.
One great post with one amazing comment from Jonathan's mom.
Just amazing. Just amazing.
Moms are the best.
The drop anchor, the anchor pulled up that launched 1,000 PTDC ships right there. Champion Lifestyle. Go look that up, folks. Discontinue the podcast. Go find it right away. You'll be riveted. Yeah, Amber will put it in the show notes. Thank you, Amber.
You don't need to put it on the show notes.
So Amber gave us some great examples of the things that people procrastinate with. Sort of procrastination by perfection is what I like to call it. I'm going to get perfect, and then I'm going to put it all out. So Jonathan, you were in mid-thought when the census takers knocked at your door.
Yeah, they were hanging a picture next door. They're done now.
Okay, all right. Well, that's nice. So where were you about to take us on this journey, or should we just go back to Amber? She's ready.
Amber's always ready. Amber's ready for anything.
She's got the delts out.
She always does. All you guys have delts out. You guys are always going sleeveless today.
Yeah. Nobody looks as comfortable as Keto, though. I feel like I'm Johnny Carson on the Tonight Show interviewing Selma Hayek. Keto looks so comfortable in her setting. It's amazing.
Really, what I wanted to hit on about procrastination more than anything else is you should very carefully check yourself and pay attention and see if you are actually deceiving yourself and pretending that you're doing something. Like we all kind of know what matters and what doesn't matter. We all kind of know that we need to get better. And the easiest way to check yourself for us fitness professionals out there is, what are the things that our clients do that we get really frustrated by because we know that they're actually not going to get them to their goals? Things like, oh, what's the best supplement? Oh, I read this workout from this celebrity thing that said that it was going to work in 7 days. And then somebody came out with a 6-day workout, and then somebody came out with a 5-day workout. And oh, can we just try this? It's like, well, no. I mean, progressive overload, consistent, small, incremental improvements over time is literally the only way to get to where you want to go. This supplement is actually kind of irrelevant in the whole picture. Like, yeah, you've got to eat a well-balanced diet, but this powder is not going to get you there, right? And spending your money on that is actually really frustrating, because that's clearly not the most important thing for you to be doing. And trying to figure out which brand of creatine or protein or greens is better is certainly not a good use of your time. Well, the parallel of that is kind of what a lot of people who are procrastinating kind of do in their business, and we all do it, which is where it's interesting. That's the exact same thing that frustrates us about our clients is what we do about our business. And if you think about it, your clients, if they were your business advisors, because a lot of the time our clients are way better at business than we are because they can afford our training.
Right.
And we're way better at fitness than they are, which is why they pay us for fitness and why we pay them, why we pay people for business. Maybe them, maybe not them, but probably not them. But they would look at how you're running your business and they'd just be like, you realize that this is the exact same thing that you got angry with me at. Which is why it's kind of funny when there's like, a younger trainer who shouts on forums about how their clients just don't get it. It's like, this is like a 47-year-old, like, well-developed lawyer who's at the top of her field. It's like, I think she's figured out some stuff in life. But it's kind of that parallel. It's really easy to feel like we're doing things because it's easier to buy something really quick. It's easier to spend money or adjust your pictures because there's that constant feedback and reward mechanism of, oh, my logo looks a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Oh, I made my website look a little bit better. It's like, ain't nobody going to your website.
No, nobody. Nobody's.
So maybe that should be the first thing, right? That you work on. And then the website comes farther. It's like we talk about with paid advertising a lot. It's like, I love paid advertising. But if you're not doing 10 to 20,000 a month in online training, you shouldn't even be thinking about it. Yeah. Paid advertising is great to scale. But if you don't have a strong base, you're just throwing money out the window.
Right.
And like, that's what you got to be working on. So getting people to critique your website, getting people to critique your sales copy, your logo, your whatever, really is just us deceiving ourselves in thinking that we're making forward progress, because actually making forward progress is way harder in that we don't have that immediate feedback. We don't see it. We have this image in the Online Trainer Academy that's an exponential curve. And it's meant to show people that, like, we're not interested in the Online Trainer Academy. Like, we'll get you some quick wins at the beginning, but we're not interested in quick overnight stuff. We want to set people up for the long term. And that means that it's going to be a lot of work where you don't feel like much is happening. And then one day it's just going to, and you'll never look back because you have that strong base, but you don't see stuff bubbling underneath the surface. And so that's why there's this exponential curve, which is basically like a curve near the bottom of the graph that really isn't moving that much as you're doing work. And it can be really, really difficult to be in that phase because you're working really, really hard. Just like, by the way, when you start a new program.
Exercise.
I'm in week 7 right now of the online trainer coaching. And for anybody who knows neurological adaptation, 4 to 6 weeks is largely a neurological adaptation. So a great program, there's going to be a lot of work, a lot of repetition for 4 to 6 weeks. And then in and around that point, no matter what, depending on what state of training you're in, for me, it started to happen at like 5 weeks. My weights, everything, just like, I increased the weight on my incline bench press last week and I was like, yo, this is light. And I'm going to increase it again for my workout tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm looking at my body and like, holy crap, I'm putting on muscle fast. Right. But that's because I hit that tipping point in that exponential curve, because I did that work bubbling underneath the surface where I went to the gym 5 days a week for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Where I didn't want to go a lot of those times. Well, I felt like nothing was happening. And I'm like, oh man, look at all the things I could do here. It's the same with your business. You got to do that stuff for that amount of time. Usually, to be honest, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. It's actually usually about that same amount of time consistently. And then you hit that tipping point, and then you just look back and you're like, yo, now I get it. But it's hard looking forward. And it's way easier to do things where you get that immediate, like, ooh, that looks pretty. Right? This podcast is made possible by viewers like you. Except you're not viewers, you're listeners. Okay, well, I guess a word from our sponsors. If you're a fitness nutrition coach that's looking to master online coaching so that you can help more people, make more money, and have more freedom, then the Online Trainer Academy can help. OTA gives you the framework, knowledge, and support to have predictable success with your online coaching business. From marketing to business development to how to assess and motivate your clients online, it is constantly updated and refreshed to keep up with a dynamic market. Not only that, OTA is proven. In 7 years, we've helped over 30,000 coaches in 87 countries go online. Truth is, we know what works, so you can get right to the success part. And in case you're busy working a full-time job or you're a full-time parent, know that you can go at your own pace. There's no deadlines to complete OTA and you have lifetime access. That said, if you are ready to make a rapid change and finish the course in the next 8 to 12 weeks, you can expect to invest 3 to 5 hours each week on the program. And here's the best part. If you join today, you will make an extra $1,000 a month in 90 days, or I'll give you your money back. So if you're ready to build the fitness business you want and make the money you deserve, go to onlinetrainer.com/academy to enroll today. And I hope to see you in there. Are you still trying to pick your online training software? If so, let me make this easy for you. Go with PT Distinction. It's truly the best, and I'm not just saying that because they're our sponsor. We actually use PT Distinction for our own online fitness business, Online Trainer Coaching, and we're really happy with it. From onboarding to programming to client communication, PT Distinction has everything you need to run your online fitness business smoothly, and it's super simple to use. Now, normally they offer a free 30-day trial, but as a listener of the Online Trainer Show, you get a free 60-day trial, so you can make sure you love them before spending a dime. If you want to deliver first-class service to your clients while reclaiming your time, then visit onlinetrainer.com/PTD to sign up for your free 60-day trial today.
You can buy your running shoes first, right? You don't actually go work out. You can shop for better shoes.
Well, it's like you go. There's a joke that I heard a while ago. It's like, how do you know who the worst skier is on the ski hill? It's like the person who has the fanciest equipment.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's tongue in cheek. It's not necessarily true, but it's not completely off. Right?
No, it's not wrong.
No.
It's not long, and people procrastinate in this way about almost everything that they don't want to enter into sort of quickly, because it, like you said, it feels so good. It feels so good to procrastinate about it, to pretend that you're doing some work, right? Mm-hmm. It's like when I play PlayStation with my little cousins and I don't hook up their controller, so they think that they're playing, but they're not. They don't know any better. So he's happy. Little guy thinks he's beating me in Madden. You're like, I'm playing against the computer, buddy. Like, grow up. You're 3. Learn life, buddy. So, and you see that. That's cruel, but it's true. I do that. But you see that in here's control. Here's a dead controller, buddy. Yeah, go to it. But you see that in this space, and I like how you equate it to fitness, Jonathan, because that's the conversation that I have with OTA students all the time. Like, what would you say to your client who came to you and said, my legs are underdeveloped? Hey, when's the last time you squatted? Well, I read about squatting the other day. Okay, but have you ever actually done a squat or a lunge? No, but later on today, I got this video queued up on YouTube, and it's this guy going through variations of squats. Like, none of that matters.
And I was checking it out, and I found that there was there's a lot of people like Converse shoes. So I was looking at the best Converse shoes to squat in.
Like the Chuck Taylor All-Stars.
Yeah. So I was thinking. So I bought 2 different pairs because I want to test them both out before I squat.
And it does nothing. This is what happens when you're asking us, I've had an email through Hotmail forever. Should I do a Gmail now that I'm a coach?
Yeah, no, the answer there is yes. Don't use Hotmail. The answer there is unequivocally yes. That's like, yo, I use an Internet Explorer browser. The answer is yes. That is a case. That's just like, yes, I've been paying for Netscape. I'm wondering if I should stop. I've been using Ask Jeeves for my search, and I like it because I can ask it a full question. It's like, you can do that in Google now too. And no, if you use Hotmail, you should switch. That was a bad example.
I don't like it when my analogies blow up in my face. First of all, you've embarrassed me in front of the guests here today. I don't appreciate it.
We just get so frustrated because Hotmail has the dumbest spam filters ever.
It's the worst thing ever. It's literally the worst thing ever.
We can't get emails through to anybody with a Hotmail address.
I have both, and everything goes to spam. All the PTDC stuff that I signed up for through Hotmail always goes in the spam folder. It's overly protective.
We cannot get anything. People will buy stuff from us, and they'll be like, "You didn't send it." We're like, "You have a Hotmail email. Give us a different email."
Yeah, Hotmail's a helicopter parent for sure. It's always hovering and watching. Nobody don't do Hotmail. So Keto, I joked earlier about us being in abject poverty as we became personal trainers, which motivates you. But don't, in your opinion, and this is an op-ed piece. This is an editorial. The statements that Keto may reveal here are not necessarily, the statements and views of PTDC, Jonathan Goodman and Associates, etc. But do you find that when you're struggling, isn't struggle sort of the fun secret sauce of getting off your ass? Like when you don't have a choice, like what's the chances of you procrastinating when you literally want to eat, like literally?
There is nothing more, like there is no greater magic than being cornered into having no choice. Honestly, right. Like it's like I have been thankful, even though in the moment it sucks, right, and it's awful, and you feel like everything is falling on top of you, and it's a terrible feeling. But one of my favorite sayings is like, "There's no way out but through." Like right. I always keep that in mind. Whatever it is that you're going through, keep going, because that is how you get out of it, right? So, right. And I freaking love this topic because I actually had this conversation in my counseling, in my therapy with my therapist, because this is how strong of a procrastinator I can be. So I have strategies to deal with this
stuff. You got strategies?
Yes, that actually work for me with jazz hands and everything.
Jazz hands, I like it.
Yes. And these are kind of like therapy stamped strategies that actually work for serious procrastinators. So for example, if you're like me and you enjoy, most of us want like the immediate gratification. That's why we procrastinate, because we just want the feel good feelings, right? Of having quote unquote done a thing. You're fooling yourself. You're not doing anything. So a way to get around that is that you set up rewards for yourself. So you have a list of things that must be done, but you hate the thought of it. Can't stand it. And you have a list of things that is like, oh my God, this sounds so fun. I should totally do this. And I should totally look into that and all those things, right? So you make a deal with yourself. I do one of the list of the things that I hate, and that allows me to do one of the things that are fun, or I can watch an episode of my show, or in my case, I can go to the beach and read for an hour, whatever it is that makes your heart sore, like but do it. It's just like it's the immediate gratification while still getting the essential work done.
I love that. So I think in James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, he called that habit stacking, where you stack a habit that you don't enjoy with an action that you really love, and you only give yourself the permission to do it if you do the other thing. This is a good segue too, because I'm sure Jonathan wanted to talk about, and I love to hear about, how do we fix it? Like we've all seen it, like we know it's happening, and I think to an extent, even the listeners out there, Lithuania, Romania, I think they even know that they're doing it. But, Keto gave a great example of a strategy. Are there other things that we can do to solve this, Jonathan or Amber or anybody or me? Like what's the strategy for fixing it? They've all gone silent.
This is all you, Amber. This is your work, man. This is one of those questions that requires you to understand how other people feel.
Jonathan, you go ahead and log off. Yeah, you log off, Jonathan.
He's done.
As we've previously established, I have attained, through a tremendous amount of self-study, a textbook understanding of empathy.
a clinical understanding of it.
but not a natural understanding of it. So,
so funny.
Amber, I'm gonna need you on this one.
That's hilarious. She's clinically empathetic, but not emotionally empathetic.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is before you can fix it is figuring out why you're doing it, right? So for a lot of us, and myself included, I'm just as guilty. I built the website, and I get students like, "Oh, I love your website." I haven't got a single client from that thing. It makes me feel good. That's all. It's for my ego. That's all.
Same.
But it's figuring out what you're avoiding and being really honest about that. And for most of us, it's a lot of fear of what will happen if I do this? What's the reaction when I reach out to someone? What's the reaction when I post? Is someone going to tell me I'm stupid? Is somebody going to troll me? Am I going to lose a friend? Whatever it may be, but addressing what we're actually avoiding in the first place. And then what I try to do is imagine worst case scenario. So if I do message an old friend and say, "Hey, how's it going?" What's the worst case scenario? They tell me to F off? Cool. That's not that big of a deal. So making the unknown known, which John likes to talk about, solves a lot of that problem, and it makes it easier to go through the motions of the things that we actually need to be doing. So that's usually step one to me.
So that's two great strategies so far. So we got keto strategy, sort of habit stacking, pair the thing that you really sort of don't want to do with the thing that you really like to do, and allow yourself to enjoy that if you do the first thing. We got Amber coming in with a great strategy. Sort of where's the log jam? What's the worst that can happen? Imagine the unimaginable thing happening, making the unknown known. That's great. That's good stuff. Jonathan, you got anything, or you're still off the list?
I got a strategy.
Okay, give us a strategy, Jonathan. I'm excited to hear this.
Have you guys ever heard about Michel's marshmallow test?
Yes,
I have. Yes.
So I mean, the study was like pretty largely flawed, but the premise of it was they took a bunch of kids and they sat them in a room and they said, "Hey, here's." It was actually a whole bunch of different like junk foods and stuff like that they use, but we'll just say marshmallow. So they give them a marshmallow and they say, "Okay, I got to go. That other marshmallow over there is yours, though. If you want to wait for me to come back, right? Then you get both. You can eat this one marshmallow right now, but you get a second marshmallow if you wait for me to come back." And they videotape the kids, and like marshmallows are like crack to children.
Right.
Like, these videos, you can find them on YouTube. They're hilarious. These kids trying to distract themselves from looking at the marshmallow.
So cute.
But basically what it showed, and then they tracked these kids through like later in life. And the idea was, if somebody can naturally delay gratification, will they be more successful in a lot of periods of life? Because a lot of, I talked about how like anything worth having generally takes a lot of time and work to have. And that work is often very painful at each stage, right? It's things we don't like doing. It's things we're not good at. Growth is inherently painful. It's just the way that it is, growth in any way, right? And so long story short, what they found, or what they said that they found, was that delaying gratification is just like makes you more successful in every way, from your love life to your financial life to your fulfillment to like everything. So that's cool. So then a lot of people who study this kind of thing are like, okay, well, you need to like quiet your like chaos monkey. You need to delay gratification. You need to, and that's all well and good. But I don't know about you, I would have eaten the shit out of that second marshmallow or that first marshmallow. So like, I looked at that study and I was like, man, so what does this mean? Am I screwed? Like, am I just done? But instead I looked at that and I said, well, if I know that I need immediate rewards for everything that I do always in order to keep me doing it, can I design into my work in my life a system whereby I reward myself for each little task? And it really doesn't have to be a major way. When I wrote books, I wrote articles about this that were really popular, called the map and flip system, which is I break up my book into cue codes. So every cue code was a single section that was no more than 600 words, or planned to be no more than 600 words. It had the topic, it had my notes on it. So I would plan and I'd write the cue codes, which would be like rewarding because I'd be making process. And then I would take the cue codes and I'd have them on one side of the table. And I'd reorganize the cue codes on the floor. Like, I have some videos of myself doing it. And then I would have the cue cards when I was ready to write on one side of my computer, and I'd pick up the cue card that day and I'd write that section, and then I'd flip it face down on the other side.
Mm.
We do this with our Online Trainer Academy students, same type of thing. We use paper clips. We tell you to talk to 5 people every day. We say, get 5 paper clips, put them on one side of your computer, and everybody you speak to, take a paper clip, put it on the other side of your computer. At the end of the day, put it back and go through that again. Again, small rewards. Mm-hmm. Because I would have eaten the shit out of that marshmallow.
Same.
And I need those small rewards. Well, in fitness, one thing that I've noticed is that if I need rewards to keep myself going, one of the things I love about online trainer coaching so much is that I can record my workouts in the app, right? It's like the smallest thing ever. And when you finish a workout, you have this little screen that comes up that says workout complete. Finish it, and you click a button, and then it changes, and there's like little balloons or whatever. Dumbest thing ever, but holy shit, I like pressing that button.
Shout out to PT Distinction.
Yeah, right. So my point is, whatever it is that you want to do, and we're out of time here, so I'll finish with this because I always like getting the last word because it's my podcast and you guys have to do what I say.
It is, Jonathan. It is.
We like to say it's a joint effort.
Good point.
But I guess what I'll finish with is whatever it is that you want to do. If you are a chronic procrastinator like me, like a lot of people, like mostly everybody, if you would have eaten that marshmallow, and by the way, I literally own the domain secondmarshmallow.com.
Oh my
God.
That's how much I've thought about this.
Of course you do.
That's how much I've thought about this. And because I want to write a book about this at some point. I think it's like, well, like everything that you want to do, whether you want to start a business or write a book or get in shape, it all follows the same principle of you have to put in a lot of very painful work, small steps progressively towards a goal that is in the future that's hard to see.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That requires a lot of things that most people won't do day in and day out for a very long time in order to get there. All 3 things, right? You have to do that. And so whatever it is, can you build into your life and your practice some way to just get that tiny little dopamine hit, that tiny little reward of like, yo, I did it. Might mean take a picture, right? One of the most successful things that our Online Trainer Academy students do is they say to their clients, hey, whenever you eat anything, whenever you work out, just take a picture and send it to me. And all that they do is they just send back a thumbs up. You don't need to comment. You don't need to say anything. But that allows the client that little bit of reward mechanism, right? That's it. I mean, to me, that's understanding procrastination. I mean, this is why studying evolutionary psychology is so fascinating. We're so hardwired into living ways completely opposite to the world that we live in. Mm-hmm. Because the world that we live in has changed so fast. And I always joke with Allison, because she got laser eye surgery, but she wore glasses for the longest time. I'm like, you would be dead if we lived a few hundred years ago. Like you would have walked into a lion and it would have eaten you.
Oh my God.
Like poor eyesight is something that should not exist in humans. Like we're moving our like fortitude backwards, right? And I joke, obviously I'm happy that she's alive, but it's this idea that there are so many things that are natural to us.
Oh my God.
That we have to really deeply understand the science and the psychology and the physiology of them in order to build strategies to be able to maximize how we exist in our world, which is not the world that we evolved into. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And procrastination is something that's common in everybody because when we evolved, we needed immediate gratification or else we would be eaten by lions.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or dinosaurs or a whole bunch of the giant mammals that used to exist that don't exist in the world.
Triceratops.
Triceratops.
So good episode, team. Yay. Way to go. Neato.
Yeah,
you guys did well today.
Heck yeah. We need like a team cheer.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We'll work on something. We'll
figure it out.
Boy.
What was that, Amber? Let's see that again. Oh, you're done now?
She's done. So thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the podcast. Procrastination, don't do it. 3 takeaways. Number 1, Jonathan Goodman is to marshmallows what Catalina Belmonte is to tacos. Number 2, Amber's delts.
I actually really like marshmallows. Really
see what I'm saying? Amber's delts, are they real or not? We don't know. And third, stop procrastinating, man. Know thyself. If you're a marshmallow number 1 person, set up some things in place to give you that dopamine hit. If you're a marshmallow number 2 person, you're probably not listening to us. Like, you probably got more sense than that. So we'll see you guys on the next episode. Show notes can be found at onlinetrainer.com/podcast. Send us your pictures again. We don't have enough Tricero Taco Tops pictures. And what was the phrase you used today, Jonathan? Was it the panic monkey? Was it the procrastination monkey?
Well, the panic monkey is from Tim Urban from Wait But Why, which I mentioned before. I really love his blog.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Fantastic treatise on procrastination. And
I love his video.
And I think he termed the panic monkey as like this, just like little like chaotic monkey that's always trying to get you to like do fun stuff when you're trying to concentrate.
Send those panic monkey pictures to Amber Reynolds at ptdc.com. I think that's the appropriate one. And we'll see you guys next time. It's just been another blast. Like, it's just been great. It's just great, guys. It's fantastic.
I'm having trouble though because I just want to go drink water and my beard is getting waterlogged. Like, I'm at that point now where
you got to do something about that.
I got to do something about it.
I hate it when that happens, man.
Yeah.
I know. Well, that's why they nicknamed you back in the day, Carolina, the bearded lady of.
God bless you, kiddo.
I had to make a living.
Where are you from originally again in Mexico?
Monterrey.
Yeah, so the bearded lady of Monterrey.
Yes,
that's right.
That was
you
me.
can Google that. You can Google that.
It's a great book. Oh, and I forgot. Jonathan Goodman's relationship book is coming out next summer. So he's going to tell you how to tell your wife that you're glad she's not dead and haven't been eaten by a lion. That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. I think there's Hallmark cards in your future, Jonathan.
With his levels of empathy, wow.
I got points last night. We went on, last night was a date night, and I planned it, and I took her furniture shopping.
Nice.
Nice. That is a win. Yeah. Thumbs up.
Well done. Yeah. Follow Jonathan for more relationship advice, guys. We'll see you on next episode of the Online Trainer Show.
All right. Y'all take care.
This is the Online Trainer Show. Trainer Show. Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show.
We shouldn't have a podcast.